South Africa approaches the seventh democratic elections, political party leaders intensifying those campaigns, as we've been showing you, to win over votes. ANC veteran and former Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe has been conducting door-to-door visits and listening to the electorate's concerns. Let's take you live there now to Ekurhuleni, where SABC News reporter Kgalema is. Kani, a very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. Talk us through what's been happening there. I see he is speaking at the moment. Kgalema Motlanthe is doing so.
It can redeem itself. Do you still stand by those words?
Well, you know, I have to explain this over and over. The reality is that in 2017, the ANC was in dire straits. And at that time, as a call to the leadership of the ANC, I did say that it seems as though the leadership has lost the ability to hear the cries of ordinary people. And therefore that to open its ears, perhaps it would take, shock therapy, such as losing elections. But I wasn't expressing a wish. I was merely appealing to the leadership of the ANC to be responsive and to listen to the cries of ordinary people. That's the context in 2017. That I know exactly what I said then. And when the late Eusebius asked me whether I was going to vote or not, I said, yes, I'll vote for the ANC. Yeah.
You are in a region where ANC used to lead, to govern this municipality, but now it's no longer the case. The ANC has decreased in terms of your votes. How confident are you that going to province, that the ANC will redeem itself as you are campaigning for ANC in this region?
Well, I'm very confident that the ANC will restore its trust and the residents of this region will vote for the ANC. I'm very confident about that. And you of course, the proof would be on the 29th of May. And thereafter, we don't have to speculate. The results will speak for themselves here.
Maybe the last one.
For two more questions. So don't do that.
Sorry. Zaneka Kodasha, SABC News. You say these sentiments that you expressed in 2017 are not a wish, and it was instead a wish for the ANC leadership to self-correct. Do you think that has come into fruition? Do you think that the ANC leadership has self-corrected in terms of holding its members accountable? We know that the Sports, Arts and Culture Minister is likely to face charges of money laundering, but the ANC did not act on that when the State Capture Commission actually made those allegations. You have a chairperson as well that has allegations made against him in the State Capture Commission. You have a first Deputy Secretary General as well, who has allegations leveled against her. And there have been comments about these people being on the ANC's list as we head to the 29 May polls. So that sentiment that you expressed in 2017, how do you reconcile that with the current actions of the party?
Well, as I said, the point I was making was that the ANC should open its ears and hear the cries of ordinary people. And I think the message has landed home. I'm convinced that the leadership of the ANC is now opening its ears to hear the cries of ordinary people. The allegations against some leaders in the ANC remain allegations. The ANC itself cannot deal with allegations. If it's allegations of a criminal nature, it takes the law enforcement units, the NPA, to deal with that matter. In other words, if you open a charge at the police station, that charge will only be taken forward by the institutions of the state. And the ANC has its own rule that if you are charged, if you are a member and you are charged, there's a step-aside rule that applies forthwith. And there's no exception in that regard.
Okay. Colleagues, we are on schedule for door-to-door. I'm going to take 2 more questions and nothing more than that. We'll take yourself.
President, you said that you are happy with how campaigns are currently going. I just wanted to know, why did you decide to join the campaigns only now? Where was the ANC late in their request of asking you to join these campaigns? And also in terms of electoral prospects, like, what are your thoughts in regards to what polls are currently saying that the ANC will achieve around 40% or lower? Do you believe that the ANC will achieve above 50%?
Well, I don't, right now, I mean, you are getting the impression that I'm joining the campaign. I campaign every day for the ANC. Every day, literally. It doesn't matter whether there's 2 of you or 3 of you. I always try to persuade you to understand the centrality and importance of the ANC. Now, the polls only capture sentiment at a particular time, sentiment of voters. They are not a prediction. They don't predict anything. Polls capture the sentiment of the people at a particular time. So if the sentiment of the people is that, you know, and of course, as we know in terms of research, the sample, the size of the sample community is very important. Because if the sample is small, then the margin of error is also bigger. But our understanding is that polls only capture sentiment of the electorate for the particular time. And it also depends on the question that's been put to them.
Thank you, President. Let's take the last question.
President Doreen Mukulu here from Scholar.Africa. I just want to find out, since 2021, we've seen challenges in terms of coalition in some of the big metros in Gauteng. Has the ANC mapped up a way in how to manage the coalitions?
Well, you know, coalitions are a global phenomenon. And in many countries where you know, like Belgium, Italy, Israel, and so on, Germany, parties coalesce on the basis of principles. That's the first point. Second point, on the basis of a common action plan for the term that they are going to spend together. Now, what we've observed here so far, particularly at local government level, is that the coalitions are based on transactions, basically. You know, so you have a party with 2 seats, and it says, I'll come along with you, but what is in it for me? So you see, it's transactional. It's not about a common program of improving services to communities. And that's what the ANC is grappling with. That's why the ANC is trying to ensure that it obtains 50 plus 1%, because the experience thus far is not a pleasant experience.